Hi, and welcome back to Books and Budgeting, where, let's be honest, I'm not really finding much time for either my books or my budgeting lately. Those of you who are in the education field, public school field, know that we are heading into state testing season, and it's been a little more hectic. But I'm going to try and change that today. I am going to try and get caught up a little bit. So I'm going to do something that maybe going forward I won't always do. Sometimes I do this personally, sometimes I don't. And that is, I am going to plan for both my first April paycheck and my second April paycheck all at once. Let me move this out of the way. I have filled in the things that usually go on my paycheck in advance, so that hopefully this won't turn into an hour-long video. This should just take a little while. But before we get started, I do want to say one of the things that is absolutely crucial for me doing a budget, to plan my budget, to get ready for the month, is a form that I made that includes all my bills and fixed expenses. Now, you would think this would be basic and that everyone would have one of these, whether they have a budget or not, that they would have a list of these. But before I was budgeting regularly, I kept a lot of this information sort of in my head and just glanced at it when I checked, and that wasn't always regularly, when I checked my online bank account. So this was an eye-opener, just filling this out for me. And I keep it in my binder at the front of my binder with a lot of basic information that I have, or annual information. I don't keep it in the month to month, but I will pull it out every month and use it. I was already kind of dividing things up since I've been budgeting, and since things are on paper, I now do a better job of that, of dividing my expenses into two halves of the month so that I can pay them well and still have a little bit of money for groceries and for savings every time. It's very discouraging. When I first started, the first half of the month was incredibly bill heavy. And so I really could only save in the second half of the month. And to see kind of the rewards of the budgeting only once every 4.5 weeks was tough, I have to admit. So I use this to fill out this. The NEA dues right there, transfer to checking, the mortgage, the internet, gym membership, my air conditioning service contract, my Apple storage. And what I haven't put in here is lawn care. Why? That's very interesting. And I know why I didn't. He was scheduled to come at the very, very beginning of the second half. So I put him, but going forward, he will be in the first half. Then this second half, and I keep it a different color so I'll remember: union dues, transfer to savings, transfer to my son, YouTube, Netflix. So everything on this list is on here. That's how I start out. And this will show you that I know what my actual amounts are, but I budget by rounding up to the nearest 5. Now, if it's $50, I'm not going to round it up to 55. I just leave it there. But if it's 99 cents, I do round it up to 5. So that's where I get my little bit of a cushion. Anyway, as we go through, let's get this going. All right. So I always budget that I'm going to carry forward my checking budget of $50. I'm going to remind myself I don't put cents on it when I'm budgeting. All I have to do is turn on a camera and I will do everything wrong. I'm not kidding you. So $1,600 is what I budget for my paycheck, even though I think I showed you last month during my actual that I know that if everything's the way it should be closer to 16. It'll be 1651. But this is how I enjoy my budgeting a little bit more, because I always feel like, ooh, I did really good, because I build in these little cushions that I reward myself with at the end. Okay, I always budget $25 for shopping. It just goes into my account. $35 for union dues. $825 for my mortgage. My internet keeps creeping up. I used to budget $125, and then it got up to $130. Then I budgeted up to $130, and now it's $131. So I'm going $135. I'll have to see. That's not just the internet. It also is my landline. Yes, I keep a landline at my house. I don't know. It just seems like the responsible thing to do in a part of the country where tornadoes and weather can become an issue, but I do that. Okay, in case the cell towers go down. Gym membership, $50. AC service, $20. And like I said, my Apple storage, I will budget $5. Then down here to my variable spending. This is much more guesswork. I budget $200 for groceries. I go over. I budget $75 for eating out. Generally, when I don't have any plans to go anywhere, don't have any trips planned, I budget $30 for fuel. I budget $20 for entertainment. And this will be somewhere between $20 and $30 a lot of times. This is just anything that happens to wander in. Oh, I didn't total my amounts, and I'm not going to subject you to me and a calculator. I'll do that for my actual budget. But for this, I know these amounts, and they better add up right. Yeah, I'm double checking my what you call it? The word just completely left my mind. My pencil version that I have over there. Anyway, $1,095 taken from $1,650. This should leave me with $555. I bring that down to here. The total of my variable spending is $350. Scoot that up a little bit so you can see that. And the leftover for that would be $205. All right. I have done this a little bit differently than I did on my mock-up or my pencil version. So, checking buffer always gets 50. And these are going to get some other amounts. What I'm trying to double check is I did this last month and I forgot to do this on my pencil budget. It's only been about 2 months. This will be the second month since I paid off my credit card. I had $75 going towards my credit card every month. Well, that in some ways is a snowball. And since I don't have any additional debt to put it towards, I certainly don't want to spend it on groceries. I want to stay conscious of it and try to put it in my priorities, which are my emergency fund and my home sinking fund right now, since that's what I'm going to need. And on my pencil budget, I actually just put it into these funds. So I think I'm going to stick with the pencil budget for what I did. And y'all, I am so embarrassed as an English teacher. I'm going to find the word that my mind is not letting me figure out right now, and I will use it and apologize profusely. I'm not going to put this here, but when I do my actual, I am going to account for that $75 here. So let's just do what's fastest and easiest. My emergency fund could get $75. I could give $15 to all of these, except medical and my pet sinking fund. Remember, those are my lowest priorities because I do have an HSA that is getting money before I get my paycheck, and we don't currently have a pet. So let me see if this adds up the way I think it should. 50 plus 75, 15, 15, 15, 15, and the 20 for the 10 equals 205, and that is 0. Okay, that was a little confusing with this, but I'm going to leave that the way it is for right now. We will make any changes or attribute for anything when we do the actual paycheck soon. So moving forward, we would come out because of this checking buffer for $50. That goes into this right here. That's what it is. I put it in as income. I take it out as an expense. That's, some people do it other ways. Some people keep it completely hidden from themselves. That's the way I do it. So school paycheck, I'm guessing $1,600 again, and transfer from sinking funds. Let me find my sheet. Just a minute here. I'm sorry to make you wait. I am tentatively figuring that I'm going to transfer $100 from my gifts sinking fund because the second half of April is my son's birthday. So I will be spending in the gifts category somewhere down here. But that comes to $1,750 as a budget. Now, I transfer $150 to savings at the beginning, very beginning of this pay period to cover insurance, and then I will transfer some more again at the end of the pay period to cover the rest of it. I've thought about increasing this amount, this automatic amount, but the truth is that it seems like every 6 months our car insurance is changing, and so I'm going to have something at the end of the month anyway. I just might make this a little bit larger. Transfer money to my son's account so that covers my half of the subscriptions that we share, union dues, YouTube TV, which I have instead of cable. $115 for my hair appointment. I have my hair cut and colored every 5 weeks. So, and I've had the same woman doing it for, well, she moved away for a little while and for a couple of years, and then she came back. But it's been probably nearly 30 years. I'm going to keep going, even though somebody started a blower outside. I hope you can't hear that. Netflix, $20. Life insurance, $60. Transfer to savings. This is the $120, also going to insurance. Like I said, that used to be $90, then it was $100, then it was $120. It just keeps moving. For electric this month, I'm going to guess at it. I'm going to guess $150 and gas $100. Gas could be a lot lower than that because it's starting to warm up, but electric probably won't be that high. Remember, I just, if you saw my last video where I talked about how I do my own self-leveling, I know that between the two of these, they average $250 a month for the year. In the spring and in the fall, they don't always use this much, so I will put excess in a sinking fund for my utilities so that I can cover the cold and the hot months. My water bill, I estimate $50, T-Mobile $125, and that will total to $1,040, which, like I said, is only about $50, $55 off of the first half. So it keeps me kind of in line. This time, though, I have much more left over because of that extra $100. $710 moves down. I am budgeting $200 for groceries, $75 for eating out, as I usually do. This time for car fuel, $30. Entertainment, $20. Lawn care, $30. Miscellaneous, $25 this time. And gifts, I'm going to guess that it'll be that $100 that I brought down. It might actually be more than that. I don't know. But that totals, the variable spending totals $480. And that leaves me with $230, which is similar to what I had going in to the sinking funds and savings last time, or the first half of the month. So always do the checking buffer. Ooh, looky here. I filled out my sinking funds for the second half exactly the same way I did the first half, but that is not right. What I always do is and I usually put it up here, but I'm going to bring it down here, is I have a sinking fund for tags and taxes for the cars. I pay in once a month to this, and I save it all up, and then I transfer that when we have to pay it in June for tags and taxes, and then for subscriptions, especially annual subscriptions to have a membership in a nearby museum and my Amazon Prime. So those always need to be in here, and I did not. Wow. Man, I did not plan for those on my pencil one. What am I thinking? This one is always $15. This one is always $25. So those are $40 and $90 that are absolute musts. $40 and $90 that are absolute musts. Well, I'm just going to, I had $100 for this. I'm just going to take that $40 that is down here that I forgot about and just reduce my emergency fund plan by that much. My home sinking fund, 15, car sinking fund, or car maintenance, I'm going to do 15, 15, 15. I'm going to do 10 and 10. Now, the question is, does this add up the way it's supposed to? 50 plus 60. 15, 15, 15, 15, 10, 10, 15, and 25 equals 230. So yes, it does. I got the math right. I just didn't remember to include everything. That is my zero-based plan. So this is a quick run through of what I do before the paycheck period actually hits. Now, I have said in my midweek check-ins or my check-in videos or even my paycheck wrap-up videos, I will track my expenses and I will put actual numbers in here and watch as those add up. But this is how I plan it out before the paychecks hit so that I am ready for the month. Do you do something similar? Do you plan before you spend, or do you just keep track as you spend? Let me know in the comments below. And don't be afraid to hit that like or subscribe button if you enjoy this content or are at least interested in the way I do it. Everybody does certain things a little bit differently. And as I explain them, or as other people explained theirs and I watched their videos, that's how I came up with how I needed to do mine. I tried different ways that different people did and ended up settling on what works for me. And I'm not saying it'll stay this way forever. This is where I am today, because personal finance is definitely personal. Since I'm not currently reading anything, I need to get started on my next book club book. Hopefully I'll have it to show you in the next video. I left it sitting on my desk at school. So since I am not currently reading anything, I'm just going to leave you with the sad reminder that some of us book lovers still have trouble fitting it into our schedule. Don't be like me. Find time. Make time for yourself and your reading because it's important. It's special. And for me, it keeps me sane. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.